Good morning, internets. It's another, well, I want to say it's a beautiful day, and I guess it is, but I'm just not really feeling it today. But hey, there's cool car stuff to talk about, so let's talk. I have one of my wonderful viewers, and you're all wonderful, but one of my wonderful viewers, Chris, left some really thoughtful comments yesterday on, I posted 2 videos yesterday, and talking about electric vehicles, talking about fuel cell vehicles, talking about what Toyota's doing. And he made a couple of really good points that I wanted to discuss in today's video. Number one being about fuel cell vehicles. He contends that the infrastructure is already in place for somebody who owns an electric car to essentially fuel up their car at home. And that if you wanted to, he says it's 90% there, and then you could make some pretty minor improvements to put in the bigger charge station in your house, and the power company will come out and do that for you for a fee. And that's not a thing that you can do with a fuel cell car. A fuel cell car still has to go to a gas station in order to fuel up. You're still tied down to the gas station in that way. So he feels that because of that, fuel cells have already lost the battle. I don't want to believe that, because I like the idea of utilizing the most abundant element in the universe to run things. It seems only natural. But maybe he's onto something for for it being like personal use vehicles. Perhaps hydrogen could be a reasonable resource to generate electricity rather than diesel or coal or hydroelectric or however they make electricity where you live. So I don't know, but I thought that was a really interesting point, because I like not having to go to the gas station to use my vehicle. I go to the gas station in this car about once a month to refuel my onboard generator. But I'm not there very long. And for all electric cars, you never go to the gas station. So that's a really good point. Also, he mentioned the fuel indexing issue. Now, the more people buy electric cars, the less people are purchasing gasoline. That's just a fact. It's taxes on gasoline that we use in order to build our roads. And that's why the cost of gasoline varies so widely, even just in my own state. Where I'm from in Washoe County has the highest fuel indexes in the state of Nevada. Sorry, tea time. Time for tea. Has the highest fuel indexes in the state of Nevada because they're building so much roads up there. The Tesla and Panasonic going to Northern Nevada and building in Washoe County and employing so many people from my hometown up there. My brother-in-law works for Tesla. It's created this massive boom of people moving to Northern Nevada, people living in Reno and Sparks. They are ripping out old neighborhoods and Depression-era houses and building hip new condos. The property values are skyrocketing. People that have lived there for the last 30 years, like my dad, can no longer, afford to keep up with the Joneses because everything's getting, shot up so high. And the gas is getting more and more expensive because with more people, they need more roads. They need bigger freeways. The gridlock there has gotten really bad. The highway system there is really only updated to what the population in Reno would have been like in the 1980s. So they really need to get it up to date. In order to pay for that, they add taxes to the fuel. So the gas up there is really expensive, but every time you buy gasoline, you are helping to pay for the infrastructure changes that they're having to make up there, new roads and new freeways. The expansions that they're trying to do on the 395 and the I-80 and, the Wells corridor and all that stuff. Now, in Las Vegas, where we have a lot more people, the gas is actually cheaper because we don't index as much. Now, for those of you who don't live in Nevada and aren't familiar with it, our roads have been under construction. I'm on in a residential area right now, and I'm looking at cones that way, and I just came from a cone zone behind me. Our roads are always under construction. And if you didn't know this about Nevada, our state flower is actually the orange cone. We are all terribly, terribly sick of it, but Nevada's always growing all the time, pretty much just in Northern Nevada and the Reno, Sparks area, and in Southern Nevada and Las Vegas with a whole lot of nothing in between. But, we'll see what changes come with Tesla. But Chris makes a good point. With less people buying gasoline, that's less people paying in those taxes and contributing to the indexing that is done for restructuring and rebuilding roads and building new roads and expanding. it's it's insane how fast the population of Las Vegas has grown. I mean, during the recession in 2008, things kind of stagnated and we had a really stagnant housing market. There's a lot of foreclosures, a lot of people left. All of those, like, we've gained back the population we lost plus some. It's just, it's insane. And every time I drive to the edge of town gets a little further away because they're just building out and out and out, all these suburbs. So that construction is here all the time. Now the roads, the public use roads, are paid for by that. And Chris makes the point, how long is it going to be until the government taxes electric car owners for not contributing to the fuel indexing? Like, how long is it going to be before that, like, cuts into your tax return or something? I don't know exactly how they would do it, because in Nevada we don't have state income taxes because of the casinos. Basically, that's our deal with the casinos and the gambling here, because lots of nice folks like to come from all over the world and spend money in our casinos, and the casinos are licensed to operate here. They pay a whole bunch of money to the state, and their contract with the people of Nevada is that we then don't pay those state taxes, which is really nice. But, you know, how long until the state of Nevada starts coming after electric vehicle owners? Now, at this time, electric cars still account for less than 5% of all of the cars on the road. So I imagine they haven't really felt the crunch yet. But I don't know. Chris makes an excellent point. The government wants their money, and they don't give a crap what you're trying to do about the environment. They could give two craps about what our morality is, or why it is we drive electric vehicles, or any of that. They want the money, and they need the money, and the roads have to be built. And they're going to contend, you know, in this scenario, they would probably contend that, well, you use the roads, so your electric car drives on the roads, but you fueling up your electric car does not help pay for the roads. So therefore, we must get that money out of you somehow. And I don't know. It's a pretty interesting point. So what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that in places like this, where, you know, we're a little Wild Westy out here and we don't have the state coming after us for a lot of things, like, do you think that's a thing that Nevada is going to have to compensate for? Because there are a lot of Teslas here because they make the batteries up north, because they employ so many people. I mean, we have, my brother-in-law was telling me they get a discounted rate on Tesla models. So a lot of the people that work at Tesla, you know, and their range is more than sufficient to get from Reno to the Tesla factory, to get from Sparks to the Tesla factory. You know, it's perfectly reasonable to drive a Tesla for those people. So we have those employees that have the discounted rate. You know, Tesla's sort of created this really weird renaissance in Sparks, which was a nowhere nothing place when I was growing up there. And now all of a sudden, a lot of people are starting to know what Sparks is, and it's its own thing apart from Reno. Like, I've been telling people for years, like, oh, where'd you grow up? Where are you from? And I'm like, oh, Reno, because it's faster than to say Sparks. And then they go, where's Sparks? You're like, it's next to Reno, and they're really close, and they're kind of touching, but Sparks is different than, okay, I'm from Reno. Like, it's just easier to say that. But now people are starting to know, like, people at least in Nevada are starting to know what Sparks is. And Sparks is actually closer to the Tesla factory than Reno is. So, like, I'm watching all these crazy changes happening in my own state, and I'm wondering, you know, what are the effects going to be in other people's states? So, you know, I wanted to respond to that. And then also, to a lot of comments and criticism from people who seem to think that I am attempting to present the news. I am not a news channel. If you find fault with information I have shared, I really love it when people come in and tell me, okay, here's where you may have been mistaken. Here's where you maybe were misunderstood. Here's where you maybe got bad information. Here's the truth as I understand it. I like that part of the conversation. But I wanted to make myself clear in that I'm not attempting to present anybody with the news. I'm not a reporter. I am a car enthusiast first. You know, I'm a car guy, and I like cars. I have been driving an electric car. By the way, guys, this is my first electric car. The Chevy Volt is my very first one. It's my first alternative anything. Everything before that was internal combustion, and I didn't even have a lot of information about electric cars before about this one. If you go back in the videos a little bit, you can see, you know, this. I talk a little bit about what happened with my Passat and how I ended up in this car in the first place. And so I've had this car since October. So I've been driving around in it for just 2 months now. So a lot of what this channel is me sharing things I learn as I drive this car, sharing things I learn as I read about electric car news, and sharing ideas that I have and ideas that have been shared with me by others. Like, I'm enjoying different perspectives. I'm enjoying this open dialogue that I'm having with car enthusiasts and other places. And I see a vacuum for passionate electric car drivers. If you are an electric car driver and you are fired up and passionate, please turn on your camera and get like excited and happy and throw out some YouTube content for us, guys, because a lot of the electric car media out there is well, it's really nice and it's made by really nice people, but a lot of times it kind of is boring and it bums me out. It's just lists of stats, and nobody seems to have that sense of humor that I'm accustomed to from automotive culture. So anyway, that's all it is. That's all I'm trying to bring here. This is the thing I'm doing for me. I live 99.9% of my life is about being in service to others and in service to my family and those I love and those around me. And I like it like that. That's good. This is just, the mornings are for me. I go to the gym. I just got done at the gym with my bestie and sweat it out. And then I don't give a crap what I look like. And I turn on my camera and I talk about cars for a while. And then all throughout the day, people tell me other cool stuff about cars because of my car videos. And that's what it is. That's why I'm here. And that's why it makes me happy. So I'm not a news channel. So if you find inaccuracies, please let me know. But also please understand that I'm not attempting to present myself as a content creator along the lines of like an automotive Philip DeFranco. That's not what you're going to get here, guys. Well, I don't have the time to be that well informed. I work 3 jobs. I don't have the time to put into making videos like that, that are crammed with that much information. And really, that's not my style. And we're a stream of consciousness person, and that's what you're going to get here. So I just want to take a minute and sort of clarify that before we get 50 videos deep. And, I hope everybody's having a really good day. So, y'all, let me know what you think about this fuel indexing thing. What do you guys think this is going to do to the taxes? Are there states that are already doing this? Do you live in one? Has this affected you? Do you worry about this affecting you? There's a lot of political changes happening right now, and a lot of crazy laws are being passed all over the place to do all kinds of crazy things. And I want to know, has anybody heard any murmurs or anything over the wire about what Chris suggested? Also, please note that Chris go back on yesterday's videos and read the stuff that Chris wrote, because he wrote a whole lot of information and shared a lot of personal experience that was extremely valuable, and I really appreciated his perspective. And if you guys go and do that and you want me to talk about something, I will try to get to the things that I think will make good content and make good videos. And that I think really need to be shared to continue the conversation. I love what Chris did. And I try to always ask first. I might, if I don't get an answer, I'll probably use an idea, but I won't use your name. But Chris said that I could go ahead and mention him and that I could talk about some of his ideas today. I didn't even touch on a third of what he shared, honestly. These are just the things that I went back and read his comment and that I could remember right now while I'm talking. And it was really, really cool of him to do that. So thank you, Chris, for making today's video possible. And thank you, everybody, for always commenting all the time. I've got, there's a handful of you that never miss a video and always try to say something nice. And on days when, I'm just working, and the day never seems to end, and I see those nice comments from you guys, it really does brighten up my day and put a smile on my face. So I really appreciate that. And that's probably the number one reason that I'm here, is that everybody has been so nice and has asked me to keep making videos. So I'm going to keep making videos. So beyond that, guys, it's Wednesday. It's dead center in the middle of the work week, and I'm just trying to get through it. I hope everybody else is getting through it well, too. So my name is Catherine with EVs of Nevada. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. I'll go ahead and throw a little subscription guy right about here. And here's some other stuff that YouTube thinks you might be interested in right around here. Everybody have a great day. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile.